Should be working. Yo, it is 8/1/23. Super excited about game night tonight. It is the first time back after traveling for a little bit. Um, Gonna go ahead and send out the link to everyone. Hopefully, you guys are having a good Tuesday evening. You know, we just made it back from um, Disney, and it's definitely been a must say. I'm gonna go ahead and tweet out the link and share it with people. But yeah, I got a few things I definitely want to talk about today. It's definitely been a minute since I had a chance to catch up with everyone. And yeah, I just think we can have a good time today. Not worry about too much. It is a calm day, even though things aren't great in the marketplace currently. But yeah, I'm still excited. I'm still excited about what's happening in the overall Web3 ecosystem. I'm still excited about what's happening in Cardano currently. Have some stuff I definitely really want to speak on because I just feel like the conversation must be had. And yeah, you know, I'm liking what's happening currently. Like if we're talking about Cardano and stuff, I like what's happening with a number of the projects that we're seeing. Um, certain projects recently have been making moves in my mind that are positive in a way that I feel like they've just kind of been doing a really good job. And to me, I'm the type of person where it's like, if you're putting in the work and whatnot, and if you're actually like trying to deliver something unique and interesting, then it's something that should be discussed and should be rewarded in a way. And yeah, since I like with that said, like I'm really excited to show you some of the stuff that I've been looking at and talk about different just Web3 gaming stuff, even if you haven't had the chance to participate and like with some of these games that we're going to discuss today, and or in some of these ecosystems, I still think it's worth talking about. So yeah, I think it's going to be a good look. And yeah, I'm going to wait for my co-host to join me. But with that said, hopefully we can get a few more people in here. We just shared it on Discord, and we're going to end up sharing it on Twitter as well. And then we're going to get into it. I'm gonna give it like probably 5-10 more minutes before I really start talking about stuff that's happening, and from there, yeah, we'll get into it, man. I'm really thinking about like we can really improve these streams with a little bit of music and some, I guess some graphics and stuff like that. But for right now, I think like this is more comfortable, right? Like this is more natural. There's not a lot of like extra like fluff. It's just raw. It's mostly uncut. It's just like us talking to you about the stuff that we currently find interesting in the marketplace. And with that said, there's a plethora of things to talk about, whether it be on Cardano or whether it be in like the Web3 ecosystem itself. But let me see, give it another 2 minutes before I jump into it and start talking about stuff that I think is interesting. With that said, I hope everyone's doing well. You know, the thing about Web3 is like it's really a battle, man. You have to really have that conviction. There's a reason why people are rewarded what they're rewarded in this ecosystem because they have that conviction when it comes to these different projects and the different ecosystems that are out there, right? I think that a lot of times, in the middle of the bear market, when times are tough, it's easy to be like, yo, there's no point in this, or they didn't deliver fast enough. But really, I think it's one of those things where time will tell, right? That's when we'll get like the a idea of how well things are going to go for the overall ecosystem. But I also am the type of person where I'm like, I'm really interested in like some of these projects that are going on currently, and I'm liking the collabs. And there's interesting stuff happening to projects that we really didn't think would be happening at this point in time. But I'm definitely going to get jump into that stuff today, and so yeah, I'm excited. I am waiting on one person to join me real quick, and once JL's here, we will get it started. But like I said, I was running a little bit late today, And so I still want to make sure that I talk to everyone because, this is the best way and best method to kind of keep up with everyone that's in our ecosystem because we're able to take this information, put it on Twitter, and then, after we put it on Twitter, we're able to then share it to the people that are in our ecosystem. So, yeah, but while we wait, I do want to tell you guys a little bit about the recent trip to Disney. It was dope. It's very rare for me to have a vacation. Normally, when I'm going out of town, I'm going to mostly crypto based events. You guys have seen me at Rare Bloom. You've seen me at CNFTCon. You might see me at Consensus. I've been to the um, what was it? I've been to the summit a couple times. Well, I went to the summit a while back. Didn't get to go last year. You know, not looking good going for this year either in Dubai, but maybe the year after that I might make a trip to the summit. But in case you guys have not been up to date on what we've been working on, I'll give you a quick housekeeping real quick. Um, just overall optimizations to Chaos Factions, which are good. We put the hollow chambers are currently under construction, and we're updating some of the stuff that we have there. Now, we're taking a slower approach, guys. It is the bear market, right? We have time before the masses get here. We don't have to rush things. One of the early mistakes that I made is thinking that these timelines I have to just rush to get them done because I'm running from the inevitable, you know other project that's going to beat us there. But then I realized it's if we just take our time, we can make our we can develop our stuff the right way, at a pace that's comfortable for us while providing utility and adding value to the people who hold our projects as well. And yeah, so we're slowly and surely just optimizing things, making the experience overall better and smoother. We do need to get you guys their fragment accounts. I don't know if you had the chance yet, but we also worked on the Heartbreak Club game. I hope you guys get the opportunity to play that. If not, you really should. That's going to be something that's going to be attached to their fragment accounts one day. As of right now, like I said, we're just taking our time, slowly building and making games essentially, and that's what we do. Our purpose here is to really make games that are playable and fun. I think that the overall Web3 mechanic thing is going to be figured out one day, right? And a lot of projects are all trying to figure this out. Like what is the preferred method of having, you know, tokenized assets in Web3? What is the preferred method of having um, coins and tokens in Web3? And I think that, as of right now, even though we don't know the best way to do that, I think that if we can focus on, okay, what if we have Web3 teams making good games that implement Web3 technology in interesting ways, right? And that doesn't mean pay to win or anything like that, but in game perks, in game customizations, that type of stuff is what we're focusing on because we feel like, okay, you know, any good basketball player before they start working on their ability to hit half court threes and whatnot, they're gonna work on their layups, right? Everyone wants to be Steph Curry, but sometimes you just got to be able to hit the consistent layup that's there. And if you can hit layups, then eventually you can transition to jumpers and whatnot. And you got to be able to dribble the ball. You got to have solid fundamentals, and that's kind of what we're working on with the games that we've been making, is having solid fundamentals in the sense of trying to make games that are fun and have unique game loops, and then adding a Web3 component to it after the fact. And I think that is easier to do currently than to say that hey, we're going to build a massive ecosystem that just automatically works in Web3. Other people might have the opposite approach, and I feel like there's nothing wrong with people having a more gun ho or a more like jump into the deep end approach and just try to take over the world, you know? But for us, I think that a slower and consistent approach is better because it allows us to iterate in a way where it's okay, we're making games that we know are fun or unique in a way, and they also use Web3 technology. And I hope that people take what we're building and then one day use it as hey, this is how this team was able to do it, and hopefully we can make something similar to it, or we should follow their blueprint on how they made Chaos Factions or the Heartbreak Club game that we made. With that said, I do want to talk about some of the other stuff that's happening in the ecosystem. I don't know if you guys had the chance to see, um, and I'm going to share it here. One of the projects that I'm a fan of is Blockchain Mages. You know, they've been building in Unreal. You know, and the thing with this game is like I'm not expecting the world from this game, but I'm expecting to have a fun experience, right? Like this isn't something where I'm feeling like okay, it's gonna go crazy and like the value is gonna blow up. But I feel like it's something. It's a starting point, and I love the fact that we're seeing people release games that are playable and show this type of footage. You know, to me this is cool. But with that said, guys, we got JL joining us. You know, so give me a second. I'm gonna pause here and add him. Yo, man, what's been up? So you're muted and you have no sound. So unmute first. Can you hear me? You can't hear nothing. Wait. Well, your mic's muted. You gotta unmute your mic first. Yeah, I was muted at that point. So you guys didn't hear anything I just said. But my bad. Yo, he's looking super focused right now. All right. Well, there we go. Well, I'm gonna opt for this one. And so yeah, blockchain mages. It looks cool. I like the gameplay. Right, it's simple. It's built in UE5, so they're most likely using like Paper 2D or Paper ZD to make it. That means like the chances of them completing this and it having an interesting story is likely to me. Right, I think that's interesting. But at the same time, I'm really interested with yeah, I'm really interested in the trailers and stuff that they release, and I think it's going to be a good game overall. So give me 1 second. I'm gonna see if I can talk to Jo real quick. I'm gonna send this message. And I was having a bit of tech issues earlier today, so that might um, that could be something that's happening as well. But we'll see. Anyway, the like I'm really liking blockchain mages. I like the fact that we're getting trailers and updates and stuff like that. No idea on when they're going to be ready to release, but I definitely think it's a good look. It's a good looking game for what it is, and it's like yeah, they've really been at it and trying to build something interesting. And to me, that's pretty exciting. For now, we'll wait for JL to join us back once he gets his audio working and whatnot. From here, I thought something else that was pretty interesting. I've been following along with what the Clays have been doing as well. Really like the last set of trailers that they put together. Thought the last one was crazy. We talked about it on stream. Um, and you know, the fact that they consistently show us different content that is like custom made content using their assets, using their art style. I think that's a plus, and I feel like in our ecosystem we do get a little bit of that, a little bit of it, but I definitely would like to see more. I'm also excited that the hold on. So I'm also excited to see what's happening with the clay space. Haven't had the chance to do that just yet. I'll probably get with the team later this week to see if we can get Clayton, our character from Chaos Faction, some pants or some new clothes or something like that. But I am excited about the crossover that they have between Sandbox. But more importantly, the what they're doing with ADA handle is really interesting, right? The fact that you're gonna have custom like ADA handle cards and whatnot, that is really interesting. It's supposed to be in the next 7 days or something like that, and really excited to see that. Um, this type of stuff to me, it feels like when people are starting to flesh out the ecosystem that they're building in, right? Where it's like, okay, it's not just about like one unique asset, one unique profile picture or anything like that, right? It's more so like, hey, with our collaborations, we're customizing um, different types of assets that are in the ecosystem as well, right? So it's really interesting to see, and I think this is a pretty awesome collab. I'm really waiting to see what else Ada Handa has in store because I recall actually seeing the like this style of card, but the fact that they have a clay partnership for clay style handles is even like it's that much better. Now, I happen to be a fan of Ada handles. As you guys know, our Chaos Vault, which where we hold all of the characters that you see in Chaos factions, and a number of the assets that the Worlds Within team uses in our games is in that vault. So like we use an edit handle so anyone can go and view those assets and then know that our team is the one with the ownership or sovereignty of it to use. And typically, one of our main tenets is projects like Clay's who have good IP rights for the holders are is one of those projects where it's like, okay, this makes sense to put in the vault because we know that we can use our character to make games or to put them in animated videos and that type of thing. And we did. If you look at the other characters that are there, we have a Clay in there, we have a Kong in there, and we talked to Kongs, at CNFT Kong about putting your Kong in Chaos Factions, and so that was a pretty good conversation with the team from that time period. And a lot of times, as a founder or as a project, you want to see people who want to build stuff like that represents people in your community building things that represents your community in a positive light. So I'm pretty excited about like that aspect. That's something in Web3 that I really enjoy is the fact that you can really take time to like have sovereignty of the items you have and then build around it. And I think fostering that in the community is well worth it. So I am kind of running through things today, right? Because I'm solo. And this is the first time I've done a solo stream in a long time, but it's the first time for Worlds Within. And so, yeah, I think that this this is interesting. We'll see how it goes, but I normally don't get the opportunity to talk about these projects and whatnot in this manner. But one thing I am going to talk about is like, Gumbles recently announced that they're partnering with a major game studio, and I really feel like that's cool. Like that's something that we haven't really seen in the Cardano community, right? We've had projects tell us that they were related to people who've ran game studios, and we've had projects who have taken the time to attempt to build their own game studio. But this is the first time where we're seeing someone like partner with a major game studio to try to build their game, which is nice. But let's see. It looks like JL's back. Let's go ahead and add him. Yo, what's up, man?
Yo, bro. I have no idea what's going on myself right now. Bro, it's like wild. It's like, yo, it says your browser lost sound with your
Oh man,
mic or disconnect with your mic. I'm like, what are you talking about? I haven't even touched it. So I don't know what's going on, man. It seemed like StreamYard just acting wonky. You know what I mean? But
it's understandable, bro. It's understandable.
yeah.
Though we're still all we're doing today is talking about some of the game topics that I've been finding. And earlier I discussed being back and taking a trip to Disney World and
Mm.
whatnot. So what we're doing now is basically talking about Goombles, right? A lot of people don't know they just announced a partnership with a game development company to help them finish up the game, which is definitely a good look. I'm really excited about what they have going on, and I
Mhm.
think that what they've been building is awesome, right? Oh, awesome is just like a generic word. I shouldn't use awesome. What I should use is like what I feel like they've been building in their art style, right? Making something that is absolutely unique to their style that looks different than the other games that are out there that we've been seeing in Web3. So this type of stuff is the type of stuff that I really appreciate because we know it's not something that's too technically it's not something that's overly technical, but it resonates with the community because this is how they've been building. It's in their art style. It's a candy based game, and like the actual art style represents the candy and different types of candy, and it means that they're really taking more time to focus on the game art than the actual NFT art, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah. So are they like? So is this like an expansion? Like, what does the partnership entail? Is it, and how does it like play a part in what they've already built?
So as far as I know, like the partnership is them working with a larger scale game development company to help produce the game, right? And I was saying this earlier today. Like in the past, we've seen projects be like, "Hey, we're going to just build the game." Or we've seen a project be like, "I know a game company that's going to work on this game," or we know a specific game developer that's going to work on the game. In this instance, they're saying that, "Hey, this is a well-known gaming company that we're going to be working with."
Hmm.
And so I feel like the future is going to be, you know, projects that are gaming related, not only signing with gaming companies and other studios, but also you're going to see a rise of Web3 gaming publishers, right? Um,
Hmm.
Activision themselves don't really make any games, they just publish games. So if you have a game like Call of Duty, Activision in theory hires Infinity Ward, Sledgehammer, Treyarch to make Call of Duty, but then Activision publishes the game. And so that's what I think we're going to end up seeing. I feel like this is a good sign in the Cardano community. It's first of its kind, really. We haven't had teams talk about working with specific studios and working with specific publishers, and I think that's what the future is definitely going to entail. So I feel like this is a good look by Goombles or Gumbles. I had the chance to talk with Farmer Nash at Rare Bloom last year. We had a great conversation about how Eve.io uses their digital assets, how Mini Royale Nation uses their digital assets. And so since then I've been listening and watching closely to what that team has been building, and I think this is a good look.
Yeah, I think it's dope. I think it's a good look. But yeah, I agree. It is a great sign, and this is different. This is kind of different, and it's kind of, I would say that it's kind of paving the way for partnerships and kind of open people's minds when it comes to partnerships, especially in the gaming department of Web3, right? Because I think we're really getting to that point where it's time to, break a few boundaries when it comes to partnerships. Especially, you and I both know Cardano is not really a VC friendly space at the moment, right? So, kudos to Goombles for, figuring out a way to, get something going that they can leverage, to where they can leverage what they've already built with Goombles and by way of forming a partnership with somebody like a Magic Media. So kudos to them. I think this is dope. And I think this is actually paving the way for more partnerships. And I don't know, particularly in the sector of Web3 gaming, I just think this is a great look. And I feel like these type of partnerships works better for Web3 gaming in a sense, honestly, right? Because I can see somebody like a Media Molecule or something like that, right? Like a Molecule. I think they made Little Big Planet or something like that, but on PlayStation. But I could see, like smaller indie indie developer type companies or indie publishers coming into the Web3 space and doing something like this. I think that's dope. I think that's a great idea. And I think, those type of partnerships are definitely warranted, especially for where we are now in Web3 gaming.
Absolutely. And to have partnerships and be building during the bear is definitely a positive look and a good look. I'll briefly discuss some of the other things I talked about. I mentioned Clay's and their partnership with Ada Handle. Only reason I mentioned Clay's is because I like where they're going in the direction that they've been moving recently, especially with that last trailer that we saw a couple weeks back. So I have a closer eye on them than normal. Also, I mentioned blockchain mages. Let me add that back real quick. Mentioned blockchain mages because they've been releasing a number of trailers of the game as they keep building it. And this one is playable now on the web browser, which is a plus. So these teams are building, man, and it's good to see. Definitely good to see. Now, love the fact that, it's just one level and it's on the browser, so they're definitely getting a lot of love for it currently, which is definitely a good look. Also, there are a few other things I want to talk about. Usually, we stay in the Cardano ecosystem and talk about what's happening in Cardano. Very rarely, we'll break out of the Cardano ecosystem and talk about, Board Ape Yacht Club in their metaverse or whatever games that they have going on.
Mm.
Or sometimes we'll mention something on Solana. But it's very rare where, you know, we haven't taken the time to really talk about Gala Games yet. And I feel
Mm.
like right now, it's hard to be in Web3 and not see what's happening in Gala Games, right?
Man, and to keep it real with you, yeah, it's kind of crazy because it's almost like, and I've actually just got invited to a lot of different gaming chats. And one of these gaming chats, all I'm seeing is spider tanks, spider tanks, spider
Spider
tanks.
tanks, man. Everyone
Everywhere I
is talking
go,
about spider tanks.
yeah. So eventually we're gonna have to, get some gameplay going with spider tanks because it's a hot topic right now. Like people are playing it, and it's so funny, right? Because this one group, League of Beasts, I think I added you in there too, but
Yes,
League of Beasts is a gaming chat, right? And they're in there talking about, Call of Duty, the games that are popular. They're
of
talking about
course.
Call of Duty. They're talking about Fortnite, right? And then all of a sudden, this guy, yeah, I've been playing Fortnite and Spider Tanks. And one dude in there came in, he was like, man, all I'm playing is Spider Tanks, man. I can't get enough of it. And I'm like, wow, this joint is really on the radar right now. So you were the first one to tell me about it, but now I'm starting to see people within my network just bring it up like out of nowhere, like Spider Tanks, man. We need to play Spider Tanks. So yeah, me and you definitely got to jump on this game real soon, man, and see what it's about. Have you had a chance to play it yet?
Have not had a chance to play it. I've been watching it closely because a lot of the Web3 influencers that specifically talk about gaming, right now, this is the hot button topic. They feel like this game is maybe one of the most fun that's in the ecosystem. And so, of course, no game is perfect just yet, but from the look of it, it's clean. You see the trailer, the art assets are amazing. It looks good, man. And yeah, definitely, we have to spend some time playing this game. I think that this is one of those games where, the fact that players can actually own the maps, that's a plus. And yeah, what Gala Games is doing right now, I just think is interesting. We really haven't seen anything like this unless you talk about the stuff that Immutable X is doing. But with Gala Games, it's not more so team specific teams releasing games, but it's Gala Games is almost the network or the Steam, but only Steam themselves is releasing the games. So I'm interested in what's happening, but I also like networks that have more freedom and have more people that are willing to build on that network as well. So I'm really excited about Gatla Games. I'm really excited about Spider Shanks. We have to hop on here one day and really go through some of these games. I remember last year, man, they only were talking about really 3 games, and none had been released yet. and people
Mm,
were really interested in the nodes. But now it seems like they have a ton of games that are available to either look at or play. Or I know for sure Spider Tanks is already released, but it's definitely worth looking at and seeing what they have available, whether it's in beta or live currently. So yeah, I think that's going to be major and something that's definitely worth checking out. One thing I want to talk about, right? Something that's very personal to me,
hmm
and I know this is a short game night tonight because we started a little bit late, had some tech issues as well. But so people who know me well know that I'm a massive fan of VR games, right? Like massive fan of VR games, and that's because I'm an early adopter of technology. I like early technology. I like, you know, being on the forefront of technology to have an idea of where technology is going to go. 2017, 2018, I read a ton of books about, blockchain, VR, augmented reality, um, artificial intelligence, like all these different aspects that I was researching and reading about, so that one day I can, because I knew at the time I felt like Silicon Valley was out of reach for me. You know what I mean? I felt like being able to talk to a lot of these tech people and see what's happening in these tech companies was out of reach for me. And so I was spending a ton of time reading and doing research on these topics. But one of the games that really like put me that changed my mindset and really moved me into tech has finally died, right? Um,
mm,
and that's the thing. And this is Web3 related, right? So Facebook or Meta, they announced that they're going to shut down one of their most popular VR esports games. And
mm,
people who know me know, massive fan of VR, massive fan of esports. This is the first game where I started dabbling in making projects and whatnot for a specific community, right? We made a number of uh, esports analytics tool as a team. We had a 24-hour stream that people could view content on. We had it so that they'll be able to actually play a game, and if they're on stream, have all their stats from that game, then click a link and go view the recording of it, right? And so it was just super connected. And then Meta was like, "Yo, we shut it down." You know what I'm saying? Apple's in the game now. We got to shut it down. We're not going to keep producing this game anymore. And for the first time, this game that's been around for 7 years, this is the first time I've seen this. When you talk about major games, they leave the servers up 10, 15 years, right? They leave the
hmm
servers up for a ton of time. Then they might shut the servers down once there's a new game out. But they were like, yo, this game's live. We just shutting the servers off, and they didn't have an option for the community to run the servers. You see what I'm saying? That's why this is important in about Web3, because if a developer makes a game, right, and the only option is their servers, right? If that developer cuts off their servers, that game is no longer live. Those people can't play that game no more, right? But then at the
hmm
same time, what if they had that option to where if you're a fan of that game, you could run your own server, you could host your own server. You know what I mean?
hmm
Like GTA, when we look at GTA, the reason GTA is so popular is because anyone could go and create their own GTA servers with their own different rules, with their own different game modes. And that's why the the decentralized aspect of Web3 is so important, is because you realize when it comes to these centralized entities, something can go wrong. Anything could go wrong. You might
Yeah,
not ever figure
anything.
out, you'll never figure out what went wrong. Something can just magically go wrong. Then boom, all of a sudden they're trying to cut off the servers. They're trying to remove different stuff from the game. They're trying to you see what I'm saying? And so it's like, to me, this is so important because now for people who play this game and another number of other VR games that Meta is closing down after they purchased the studio, right? They're closing these games down. Now the people who play those games are like, I have nothing but the memories
hmm
from that game. There's nothing I can take with me. I didn't earn anything in the game that I have that's outside those online servers that represents how I feel about it, other than the people and the connections I made. But I don't have a they had it on Xbox, right? And they had it on PlayStation early, where it's like I don't have a list of achievements that I had in game to take with me. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And
Hmm.
it's like, what if you the art and camos, the actual skins for the characters that you unlock in game? What if you actually had that in your digital wallet? You see what I'm saying? Even if you can't play the game anymore, right? Even if they didn't have the custom service that people could run on their own, you would still have like, yo, I unlocked this specific camo. I unlocked this in game. This is what I was able to do in game. And you can verify it because it's on the blockchain. But now it's just gonna be people talking about, oh yeah, I used to play that. I was there back then. And
Yeah.
not that it has to be verified. This is
Crazy.
just one of those situations where it's like people never feel like they need this technology until a moment like this where it's like there's multiple people playing this game. I hopped in the game last night, right? Put on the VR headset. I played a few matches. I'm still nice. I sat there hitting them. You know what I mean? I was nice with it, crossing them
Yo.
up. I'm hitting threes and whatnot in game. And then afterwards, I sat in the lobby, bro. I sat in the lobby and I was just chilling. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna sit in the lobby, just see what people are talking about. And every person that I passed, they're like, man, been playing this game 4 or 5 years. Man, I've been playing this game 6, 7 years. Man, I've been playing this game. This is my favorite game. I've been playing it nonstop. And it's like we literally just sitting around the terminal to start a match, just talking about the game with people I've never seen before. People I've never encountered in game, just talking about how, dang, this is it. Hopefully one day they figured out where they went wrong. Hopefully one day they make a sequel. Hopefully one day we might see something
That's
similar.
so wow, bro. That sucks, bro. That sucks. And yeah, that's man. We talk about how early we are in Web3. Like even one of the, like you said, like if this was like even if they were to now, they could if they were open to the community taking over, they could, possibly release like an NFT project where if you got an NFT, you got access. That's like your key to your own personal server to the game, right? It's all types of things you could do, right? And they just let it die, bro. It's so crazy. They just let it die. Hold on, who bought it? Did somebody buy this game or did somebody buy the publisher or what?
So what happened was this game was made by a indie company that was lightweight AAA. They had a couple. They had 2 or 3 AAA releases, right? And
Mhm.
then Facebook, right before they became Meta, bought the company.
Facebook, right before they became Meta, they bought the company.
They bought
And
the company.
so Meta bought it and they shut it down.
Craziest thing I've ever heard, bro.
So wow. Bro, I swear,
Craziest
bro,
thing I ever heard.
they be doing some despicable stuff, bro. Like it's like we're gonna buy this so we can watch all the fans suffer. We can't
Like,
wait
why
to
would
watch
they
the
do that?
agony. I,
It's
I,
crazy to me.
I,
I
I,
have like I don't know, bro. Like look, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know why they
bro,
do it. It doesn't make any sense to me.
no, I know what they're gonna do though, bro. They usually see, man, Facebook and Microsoft and all of them. They got this little strategy. It's weak. It's very weak. But what they do, they will buy a popular game like this, like and take the mechanics from this, and probably use the developers. Well, some of the developers, not even the whole team. They will use the core mechanics to use for something like like a general metaverse or something like that. Like so whatever you were doing in this game that made it so popular, it'd be like, oh, we want this to be the metaverse, like type joint, and then have another team of people collaborate to kind of bring the mechanics in. Man, I see it time and time again, and it
You know what?
never works. It never works, bro.
I think you're close. I think you're close, right? But you know what I think it is?
What?
I think that not only did they want access to the research in the game, right? So I think there's a lot of the way the buttons in the game are real intuitive, right? And the buttons in game, like how you like the buttons in game, like you swipe like this, like almost like you're using an iPad in game.
Mm.
to navigate the menus. So there, I think you might be kind of right. Like the button and the menus were so sleek that I can see, Meta being like, you know what, that's valuable enough to purchase that company. We don't need the other stuff,
Yeah.
right? At
Mm.
the same time, I would hope that they would see that this is one of the most active games in VR and then be like, you know what, we should probably keep this game up and running just to keep the community or make a sequel or something like
Bro,
that.
it don't
But
be.
as of right now, I definitely think you're right. I think that, either the movement or how they created the menus in game or something like that is what they want from them. But at the time, Meta was purchasing a lot of VR companies, a lot of gaming studios that made VR games. And now, not only this game, but it's like maybe 5 or 6 different games are getting all shut down at the same time. And I say that to say this, right? I really at one point in time I was going to make NFTs for this community, but I didn't get the opportunity to because we felt
Mm.
like it was too much of a barrier trying to get people to purchase NFTs when they didn't know how, right? At the time it was like it might be too difficult to onboard that many people to
Yeah.
be successful doing it. And now I look back and I'm like, man, that's something I should have done, and I should have just taught them how to purchase it. I should have just taught them, right? Worked with them. That way they would have something to hold on to because I had this idea 2 years ago,
Mm.
didn't implement it, and now that the game's over, that's just kind of it. We're left with the leftover recordings and whatever recorded data is out there, and yeah, that's kind of it.
Yeah.
And it makes me sad, bro. It makes me sad. I feel look in a way. I kind of feel I kind of feel some type of way about it. You know what I mean? I shouldn't, but
Crazy.
but like imagine if you play Halo or something,
Mm-hmm.
and then they just like, you know what? We just shutting down the servers. It's Tuesday. We shutting the servers down. like,
He
like,
said it's Tuesday. We said now the
hey,
server.
hey, y'all, we having a meeting on Tuesday. We shutting the servers down, dog. That's it. And
That shit, they be cut, bro. It's so wild,
but it's
bro.
corporations, bro. But that's the difference. It's corporations who are purchasing this stuff because these early companies are making a commitment to develop on new technology, and they want the teams more than they want the actual company itself. They want the people who worked on it.
Yeah,
They want the people who
exactly.
generated those ideas and how they implemented them and actually like created that player base. And so, all in all, man, it's sad. I hate to see it. I recommend, in the future, people who are making this style of games, you don't have to force Web3 on your community. I'm not saying that, but make it an option. Would I have purchased some NFTs of the achievements that I made in game? Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? I can't speak for everyone else. I can only speak for myself, man, because I know that I'm the type of person where if I like a game and I'm playing it, I'm gonna want to support that game and purchase stuff that's in that ecosystem. And so knowing that, I say this, right? Support the games that you like, support the ecosystems that you're a part of. If it's positive, you like what they're doing, you like how they're building, you want to support them, you gotta support these ecosystems, man. And honestly, it's like I'm going to think twice now every time I see a company or a game studio get purchased by one of these major companies, right? Because I looked at it like, yo, Meta's purchasing this company. Now it's cemented. It's gonna be around forever. You know what I mean? I felt like that's the next level up. But then to see it like this, where it's like, dang, why would Meta even do that if they're gonna shut it down? You know, which is sad. And it's sad to see so many other like game development studios going through the exact same thing. But the reason I bring this up is because just yesterday they finally cut out. Well, really, I played my last matches yesterday. They cut off the servers earlier today, and it was sad to watch it go, man. We spent so much time building in that community. Lots of people that I love and respect that I had the opportunity to work with. A lot of people know Kenny. He was someone that was with me this entire time. We started there building together applications for this game, analytics stuff.
Mm.
And then that team, we realized that we worked so well together that we was like, yo, you know, building in Web3. And this is like early, right? Let's see what else we can make. What new technology interests us? And it was just like just one spark of having feeling like we can build in that game gave us the confidence that we could build anywhere. We could build on Cardano. We could build in any ecosystem potentially. And so yeah, but I know this is a short game night, y'all. That's on me. Took me a while to get everything back up and running and whatnot, but I'll say this: we are going to be on live tomorrow, Worlds Wednesday. Definitely check us out. 1 p.m. Eastern. It's going to be live. It's going to be good. We're going to talk about gaming topics and whatnot. We should have a few people on the space as well. You know, this is game night. I already did my housekeeping. Be it, like I said, more optimizations for chaos factions. You know, we're still working on those fragment accounts. We're going to be talking about the Heartbreak Club a little bit next week. We're going to talk about the Heartbreak Club a little bit next week. I know this is the World's channel, but hey, we got to do it, you know. As Fragment, the overall
Yeah, I was
organization,
just about to
it's
say
like we got
fragment.
to,
This is
as
fragment
Fragment,
channels too.
hey, we got to do it, right? Because it's like,
Gotcha.
it's really, it's one community, man. Like, I want y'all to be able to, if you like Worlds, I want you to be able to participate in the Heartbreak Club ecosystem. That's why the Fragment account is so important to me, because it really brings together these two ecosystems, and from there we can build more utility. We can add, you know, and I don't want to. I'm not going to oversell y'all on what we're doing. Just know we got some stuff in the works that it's going to be fun, unique, different from what other people are doing, and I can't wait to show people. So that's it for me. JL, any last words, man?
Man, nah, that's good, man. Everything's good. Great show. You know, I caught the tail end. Man, technology is just going crazy right now, bro. I tell you, everything's shutting off. Everything's just doing what they want to do. But nah, we made it through. You know, so great show. You know, as usual. R.I.P. to Echo VR.
Yeah. RP to Echo, man. Damn, man.
Crazy.
Crazy. But yo, that's it for us. And we'll see you guys tomorrow. If you're going to be on for World's Wednesday, we're out of here. Take care. Peace.
Peace out.